Here we go, here we go. All right. So we are now, we made progress. It feels pretty incremental and very marginal, but come a long way. That is one for sure. So I am excited to continue spearheading this, making headwind. I have no idea. I don't know all those references, but I'm just going to keep attacking. That's what I'm trying to say. So the current state we are at is pull up a search and just to kind of review, I'll also explain what I've done so far. So we got um, the first image and then the second image. As you can see, it is exactly halfway off, but the full thing shows, which is amazing. The reason, yeah, like it's been very, very choppy. I'm just trying to figure this library out. I just need this to go through my head. Um, so the one thing that I have changed is you can tell by how excited I am by my voice compared to yesterday. Oh God, it was terrible yesterday, but I finished off on a good note. So here we are. Um, so on the receiving side in the view model, sorry, on the view component of the MVC model, we received the info from the database. We are reading all of the stuff, like all the movie info. For now, I have commented it out. I'm not showing any movie info yet, which is just stored in a one large string. But we are slowly going to be working with the list self.image in shortly. Let's just say shortly. As you can see, I have resized the images to, they were massive images, pretty much like the whole screen. But yeah, I've shrunk it down. And now, as we had discovered yesterday, was that we were supposed to be working with, what was suggested was that inside of TK, we run frame, right? And then within frame, we are going to have a parent canvas, and then we're going to have a list of, or just a stack of child classes that are going to be in the parent canvas. And did I say classes? Parent canvas, which is going to contain all the child canvases in a vertical stack, properly aligned, etc., etc. So the reason I pulled up the Tkinter frame is just to see why it's really being used, because as we can see, as we've seen previously, I'm not going to go through that whole thing of like how the flow of the data goes about, but we could clearly see an app that we first call TK, which is like the main widget, and then within creating this, well, initializing this object will initialize the view object as well, in which we are passing the object that is created, is from what I understand. Now going back into view, we can see that view also, it actually receives it inherits from the frame class, and so using that, everything is going to be going on the frame, like onto the frame. So all the labels and all the buttons, all the entries. And then in the method where we are going to be receiving things, where we're going to be receiving things, we will, um, um, in the receiving method, this is where we create a parent canvas that's going to lay on top of the frame, right? The frame, once again, contains pretty much, this is like the background, is going to refer to the background, that's all the frame. And on it, we have all these components, right? And on top of this, we also have put aside a parent canvas, which is by light blue. I'm going to try to see if I can enlarge it somehow. So we could see, let me actually shrink this one down then. How about that? Let me try it, which alphabet we used, but sorry. So before I click submit, this is basically, this is what we're seeing, right? This is the file, like the light gray is the parent, is the frame, and like the window itself is the TK. We have the frame, and then on top of that, we are now going to be on, the frame contains all these widgets. And now once we hit submit, we will see that a parent canvas comes on. And on top of that, we have the first and the second child class. And the way we know this is through, um, just trying to see, ha ha ha. So we have the, and one of the reasons, one of the ways that I am visually seeing this is visually making it visually possible to see this is by setting up different background colors. So we got light and dark blue, right? We clearly don't see any light blue. Let me see if I can widen it. I just want to show it how it looks. It's almost just like CSS or like just concepts of layering components, similar to that. That's how I understood it. For some reason, it's not showing up, which is fine. Maybe because it's also being cut off. Ha ha ha. And oh yeah, let me see what the effect of this guy is going to be. This should be fun. Nope, no. Okay, cool. It's weird because if I take this away, it's definitely going to show. Yeah? Are we ready to bet on this? Yes, it will. Nope, nope. Oh, because the other one did not get taken out. So let me go ahead and try that out. And okay, here we go. Or E. Still having issues with like removing components and stuff. Well, sorry, removing thing, but strange. Oh yeah, right. So sorry. So what I was expecting to see was an image, but again, right, like I said, we don't have any images on the parent canvas, which is perfectly fine. And here, I guess what I can do for the moment is just column span it by 2, just so that it shows in this column and as well as this column. And let's see how that's going to work. Perfect. Here we are. Now, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put up just only the first image. Okay. We can see, right. And the way we know that this image, this canvas that's going to contain the first image is going to be on top of the parent, canvas, is by seeing that the first argument to the object, or the parameter to the object that goes for canvases, is like with any other widget in Tkinter, is going to be the master widget. That's what it's referred to. And so in here, we can see that we're using self, which is referring to the frame, right? But now in the child canvases that I've labeled, I'm putting in the parent, which should now basically show the child on top of the parent. Now I'm not sure if it's on top or if it's within. That's something that we're going to figure out. Something I have that I'm going to try out is going to be create window, but later on. Not trying to flood. Not trying to do an information overload. So let's do this. So expect to see something on, oops, that's an interesting thing. If I drag the window halfway, it shows us that. It's very, very interesting that nothing is coming up. Uh-oh, that's not good. There you go. Okay. So what we saw earlier was that the whole the light blue border, that whole section was coming up. But the moment we have put on in child canvas, it's the light blue doesn't show at all, and we only see the width of this is because let's drop it down to 350 or even just 250, I guess. Okay. Okay. So here we are, 250, right? So we can see the full poster from the, what's the other one again? Why? No, this is your name. There's another, I forgot what the words were. This one. I'm just judging if it's showing the full poster or just a little bit of is cropped, just by seeing if the whole, like the word IMAX shows, for instance. So which it does, which is good news. The number, okay, so just a quick thing that I want to show is when I just have the parent canvas, which is not supposed to show any image, we can see that the height corresponds to the number of images that comes up from depending on whatever alphabet I type in. If it has two images, it's going to be 250, which is going to be 500, because we are multiplying it by the length of the list. Anywho, now if we comment these out, the first child we got here is going to be is going to be on the parent canvas. Width is going to be 200, and let me do, should I do 100 just to see? I'm honestly just tinkering around with this UI because I cannot seem to figure it out. But so this is how it looks. It completely chops it off rather than giving the rest of the light blue on the back. It does not do that at all. Interesting to see again. 300, maybe it's just show us get some border on both sides, but right, which it does. And the way I was able to show the top left, like corner it, because without it, I'm going to show you what happens. It's actually going to show us only the half of this. And there, right? It shows, it's actually like the center of the half waypoint on the x-axis and the y-axis, right? So the full would have been actually like up here, but that's the half, and then that's the half for the x-axis and the half for the y-axis. So anywho, so that's why I figured out that we have to put in anchor northwest, and the height is fine. I can actually, I guess, go back to 200. And I don't want to try out different things right now. It's going to throw me off the track as to what I'm trying to accomplish here. What I'm trying to accomplish here is just basically trying to get these child canvases to stack vertically, properly aligned, and properly spaced out between each other, which should be none for the time being. And then we'll worry about the further challenges later on, like scrolling and then getting the move information to be aligned with each poster, et cetera, et cetera. I do have another issue set up, which is number 7. You can see the progress that I've made. Now I have to find, I actually do got to post up an image for this just to be able to visually show. Oh, I did have that. Dang it. I forgot to post it up there. And notice how for the grid part, because we're going to be tossing this on the parent, we're going to be now, what I noticed was that we're going to be using the grid according to being within the parent canvas rather than the overall frame. The overall frame, as we can see, goes up to now, at this point, row 4, but suddenly we go back to row 0 because that's just the, I guess that's not going to be, that should be row 1. Row 0, because that's the first part in that widget essentially. So let's go ahead and try that. Perfect. Now, I'm gonna put this back on 200, even though we can't really see it. The 200, 250. Then let me go ahead and try adding this one and then see what happens. Okay. Just bear with me if this is crazy results, but I'm dealing with the same thing. Create image. Oops, there are now 2 of these guys. Why are there 2 of these guys? Create image. So this is the X and the Y axis that is relative to, and I'll explain what I'm doing here. And then image is the second image in the list. So I just got to make sure for now that whatever I type in these fields, it has to at least produce more than 2, at least more than 1.